Do you know if your aircraft is covered for physical damage and liability while you're flying it or while it's parked on the ground? Well, it's Caleb here from Air 101 and we're going to talk about it. Today we're going to be talking about the best coverage that you can buy for your beloved aircraft. That is all risk flight and ground coverage. And if you stay to the end of this video, you will find out the most important reason why you should purchase this coverage. What is all risk flight and ground coverage? Well, it consists of two major components. Number one, physical loss or damage to the aircraft occurring while the aircraft is on the ground, either while it is in motion or not, or occurring while the aircraft is in flight. What this basically means is there is physical damage coverage for the aircraft whether the aircraft is in the air or on the ground. This is what all risk flight and ground coverage truly means. But in saying that, that is why I like to say that all risk flight and ground should in almost all cases include component number two. Number two, third-party liability. When you buy all risk flight and ground coverage, you should really also be getting third-party liability so that you can fly your aircraft as per Transport Canada's regulations. And in most cases, it should also include passenger liability unless you only have one seat in your aircraft. And in saying that, yes, I am talking to you Vans RV3 owners out there that only have one seat in your aircraft and always say, I don't need that passenger liability. I do understand that. So once again saying this, basically this is the best coverage that you can buy for your aircraft. It is by far the most comprehensive package. It should cover everything except for the exclusions that are written in the policy. Obviously what it will cover and not cover will vary from insurance company to insurance company. That is why it's always best to give your aviation insurance broker a call and double check with them what is covered on your aircraft insurance policy. Now, what are some of those exclusions? The loss or damage results from wear and tear, deterioration, or mechanical failure of any part of the aircraft, unless such loss or damage results directly from other damage covered by this policy. Well, this exclusion makes sense. As an aircraft owner, you need to make sure that you maintain your aircraft. Here is another one. You convert the aircraft to a seaplane or to an amphibian without giving the insurance company advance notice. This also makes sense because if you have a tailwheel aircraft or you have a nosewheel aircraft and you want to start flying it on floats, this would technically be a material change in risk on your aircraft insurance policy. And if you did this without getting approval from the aviation insurance company and then you had an accident and tried to put in a claim, most likely your claim would be denied. See, I just wanted to bring up these two exclusions with you because they are common sense exclusions. This is why I just brought up these two exclusions because I didn't really necessarily want to talk about all of them because first, this video would be way too long and you would either stop watching it, wait, I'm still here, turn that back on, or you would fall asleep. So I just want to say you're welcome. But the point that I truly wanted to make was this. These exclusions are honestly common sense exclusions that would be in your aircraft insurance policy. You need to understand that the aviation insurance company is not trying to trick you into trying to get your aircraft claim denied. They just want you to think about that if you're planning on doing something that is way different than what you put on your aircraft insurance application, that you should at least tell them what you are planning on doing. And if you don't plan on telling them what you're doing and it is way different than is on the application, then why even pay for an aircraft insurance policy in the first place? Because if you have an accident, most likely the claim would be denied. So in a roundabout way, just think about this before you go flying next time. Am I doing something that I didn't mention to my aviation insurance company that I probably should tell them that I'm planning on doing? Congrats, you made it to the end of this video. And now here's the thing that I want you to think about when you have the option to buy all risk flight and ground coverage. The thing is, with buying all risk flight and ground coverage, there are many common misconceptions about this coverage. Many people think that this coverage is going to be expensive, so they don't even get a quote for all risk flight and ground coverage. Or the pilot says, if I crash the aircraft, what does it really matter because I'm going to be dead anyway? And yes, I do get that response a lot. Sometimes people are joking and sometimes people are serious. First of all risk flight and ground can be relatively cheap, especially in comparison to how much you want to insure your hull value for. And with regards to just crashing your aircraft and dying in the accident, here is the thing. In the majority of accidents that I have heard of or that I have dealt with over the years, and yes, there has been a lot, but the thing is, in the majority of these accidents that happen, The pilot, and if they're carrying passengers, usually survive. After an accident, the pilot usually needs help getting the aircraft back. That's why it's nice to have the aviation insurance company, because they got your back, especially if you purchase all risk flight and ground coverage. And after an accident, you just had a very traumatic event, and these are things that you do not want to have to think about. And the second thing as pilots that we all have to think about, if we have family, a spouse, or children, if we do unfortunately pass away in an aircraft accident, we would want to make sure that our family is looked after. By having the aviation insurance company go get the aircraft, look after the recovery costs, etc. This would not be fair if we did not buy this coverage and we left all of this responsibility to our family. That is why I personally will not fly an aircraft that does not have all risk flight and ground coverage on it. I know, it just got really real in here, but this is why I wanted to make this video, is for you as my fellow pilots. I wanted to make sure that you, your family, friends, are all protected because you bought all risk flight and ground coverage. Pilots, please stay safe. Have fun flying knowing that you are protected, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.